Hello learners, today we are going to study about a very important document which is required for a company. That document is Memorandum of Association. This is a document which describes the purpose for which the company is formed, and it also specifies the scope of the operations of a company. In the previous videos, you have already studied that if a company acts beyond the scope mentioned in the Memorandum of Association, then the act is termed as ultra vires. Coming back to the memorandum, according to section 2, subsection 56 of the Companies Act, memorandum means the memorandum of association of a company which was originally framed or altered from time to time according to the company law. Memorandum of Association or MOA is a charter of the company and defines the limitation and powers of the company. It should be signed by all the members of the company. The contents of the memorandum are divided into 6 clauses. We will look at every clause or content of the Memorandum of Association one by one. Also, you should know that once these clauses are included in the Memorandum of Association, there is a scope of changing or altering them as per the requirement of the company. So, while explaining the clauses, I will also touch in brief the alteration of the same. The first content of a memorandum is a name clause. The name clause states the name of the company. The name of the company should not resemble the name of any existing company. The name of a private company should have the word private limited at the end. The name of a public company should end with the word limited. So, when a company wants to change its name, it can do so by passing a special resolution in its meeting and by getting the approval of the central government in writing. Let us look at a few situations when the name of the company can be changed. The first case, when a company converts from a private company to a public company. In this case, the word private has to be dropped from the name. The second case could be of a company which is having a name similar to an already existing company and the government asks it to change the name. The second is the situation clause or the registered office clause. This contains the name of the state in which the registered office of a particular company is located. The location of the registered office determines the jurisdiction under which the company will fall. Once the company is incorporated, within 30 days, it has to inform the registrar of the company the location and address of its registered office. A company can alter this clause too. The location of a company can be changed within one city or from one city to another city or from one state to another state. The alteration of situation clause is possible by passing a special resolution in the company's meeting. In case the change of registered office is from one state to another, the permission of the central government is required. Moving further, section 4 subsection 1c of this act states that a memorandum should have an object clause which states the purpose for which the company is being set up and all the actions which the company will take to achieve that purpose. So, object defines and limits the scope of activities and business to be performed by the company. The object clause can be altered or changed by passing a special resolution. The changed objects should be published in newspaper. Next is the liability clause. Section 4 subsection 1d of the Companies Act specifies that the Memorandum of Association MOA should have a liability clause which clearly states the liability of the company's members. In an unlimited company, members have unlimited liability. In a company limited by shares, members' liability is limited to the amount unpaid on their share. For a company limited by guarantee, members' liability is limited to the amount they agreed to contribute when the company was formed. For altering the liability clause, a company should hold a meeting and pass a resolution for the same and then register it with the registrar of the companies. Capital clause is the next content of the memorandum. This clause defines the maximum capital a company is allowed to raise. This is referred to as authorized or nominal capital. It also gives the details of how this capital is divided into shares of a specific value. The capital is commonly called nominal, authorized or registered capital. The alteration in capital clause is needed when the company wants to increase its authorized capital or when the company decides to consolidate its shares into bigger share units. Alteration of capital clause is also needed when a company wants to convert its shares into smaller units or cancel any shares. For bringing about any change in the capital clause, first the directors should have permission in their own articles of association to do so. Later the change can be brought about by passing resolutions in the meeting and then filing the copy of this change with the registrar of companies. The next content is subscription clause. The subscription clause gives the details of the individuals who are signing the company's memorandum. Each subscriber must specify the number of shares they are subscribing to and sign the memorandum in the presence of 2 witnesses. Furthermore, every subscriber is required to take at least 1 share. Last content of a memorandum is a nomination clause. You should remember that this clause is required only by a one-person company. A nomination clause refers to a provision that allows the sole member or shareholder of the one-person company to nominate a person who would take over the operations of the company in the event of the sole member's death or incapacity. This ensures the continuity of the business for an OPC and avoids disruption. So students, this was all about Memorandum of Association, its clauses and how they can be changed. In the next video, we will understand Articles of Association. Till then, happy learning.